don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back to you. And if you were to hang around, you'd not be made a fool. And if you were to stick about, it would be super cool. So don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back. Be right back. Oh, don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back to you. And if you were...
Okay, so hello. We're gonna play the beginner's guide. It's made by the same people who made the Stanley Parable. It's quite funny, apparently. I know nothing about it, so let's play. Ba 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 ba. Here we go. Begin the game. Make sure the audio is on. It certainly is on. Okay.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
What do I do here?
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
can't get past there. That's just the other side of the rocks. Where do I go here? Oh. My bad.
Security code breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But
Which I
ultimately, we don't
have
really
run out of
know.
bullets.
Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are,
I'm
rather
trapped
than
in
for
here
what
now.
they're not.
Oh.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Huh. Well, that's different.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it. Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Yes. Let's do it.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
I just went backwards here. What happened? Oh. Oh. Is this the bug? Ah.
The beam causes you to start floating.
Wow.
And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Oh, that was weird. I can't move. Past was behind her. I can't move. I can't do anything but look.
So try walking backwards.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Oh, dear. Oh, I got myself turned around already.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
How odd. Will she find the strength to confront?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
It's weird. You are now entering.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
This is going to be interminable, isn't it?
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Oh, getting slower.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Stand on X, staring at a bay for 3 hours.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
You walk around talking people down from pursuing their hopes and dreams.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
The writing's just a little too small for my eyes. Oh my days.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Okay.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're going to see it a
Okay.
lot.
So obviously now a wall I can't get back over.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
What on earth?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing. or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
It certainly got me confused, I tell you that. Oh, this again. You are entering before.
So this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Come on. The great and lovely descent into madness, most probably. I do like white worlds.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
The streetwise fool.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Oh.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Oh. Oh no. I didn't die. Trippy. Oh. What on earth is going on? Invisible wall, I can't do anything there. Oh.
This prison,
It wants me in a
funny
cell.
enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
Oh,
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
yeah. Yeah, let's not do
This
that.
is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere.
I bet you there wasn't. No. It's weird, just weird things.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
all just super weird, isn't it? You there?
Here, Coda begins
Did you
using
come
a
from
kind
up
of
above?
dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there were these floating corridors of bricks. That's the world above. You've been there? Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors, switches? Yes, I did. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. It must be an ending, I promise you. There's a fire. Listen. I'm confused. Oh dear. How did it get here? No. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. Who are you? Just go hang out in the black.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Outside?
It's a lamppost.
Sure is.
I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination.
A beacon of light?
Which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work
a light
as well.
to shine its way through the darkness?
A lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. The music's starting to irritate us a bit. Okay. Nice room, not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
Oh god.
Either way,
Thank god.
to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing.
Let's just get to the end.
I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Artwork. Can't run in this, can I? I quite like the artwork though.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Uh-oh.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Phew, I thought I was going to be stuck in there. The lamppost. Lots of typewriters. Oh god. I tried pressing 1, 2, 3 to see if it was the canned response thing. No. Nothing happened.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. Can't sit down, can I? Oh, what's that over there? I can see something. But I am stuck in here, aren't I? Ah, bloody hell. That door was just opened. The music really gets you in this game.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Okay. This just outlines where things were. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? It was a table? Oh, can we decide that? Let's go for a TV with surround sound. Bizarre. It's just refilling for what the furniture that was already in the room. Tesla coil, yeah. Oh dear.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Oh dear. This game's driving me batty already.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically
stripping me out
through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
What's that lamppost? Is that a phone booth? Let somebody just subscribe there. Okay. So you were trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
How to get out? Oh dear. What do I have to do? Just talk for a bit. Kitty cat, come on, no. No. No, I can see you going for the desk again, no. It'll make sense. Whoops. I actually pressed the tilde key there.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Is that up there? I want to go and see that.
Just so you're aware, nothing will happen up here until you've been inside the house.
Okay, I'm still gonna check. Alright. He wasn't lying. He's never lied yet. So unlike the Stanley Parable narrator, who's an untrustworthy narrator, this guy's rather trustworthy. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house by myself, and right, might as well that would have been.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from
mate.
Previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish.
No, kitty cat, no.
And this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
start cleaning then, and you decide whether you could do it all night. I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Okay. What else? I can't clean that up, but won't let it do anything else. It's telling me to clean. I can't do anything. Is the stuff over here? I see. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it as much as I need. Kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems. Which I guess is all about all... Kitty cat, no! No, down! About that matters. All that matters. Cat, no, you can't be there. Being bad. Go that and tidy the couch. Looks like someone spilled the drink. Kitty cat, no. No, Catman, no! No, no, no! Check the tub for needing cleaning.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Kitty cat, no! You can go out, I'll put you out if you don't.
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Come on, I have tidied everything. Kitty cat, no! No! No, 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 no. No, man! Jesus Christ, cat! Can you come and sit in my lap? Come here. Come here. Oh. I know you want attention, but you can't be right in front of the monitors or the camera being bad. Come here. Come here. Come on. Hurry. Hurry then. Come on.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace. But of
No,
course,
I don't enjoy
it
this.
can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you
Kitty
can't
cat, no.
stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
I can see you wanting to go. Kitty cat. Ah, the lamppost.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it. This one gets a bit goofy.
Even more goofy. Some sort of lecture hall. Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to be perfect. This widget is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think would be that way in your life? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful, I intend to make you into that person. Perfect is within your grasp. And the question is, how do we do it?
About halfway through the game, the perspective
How
shifts.
do we do it? Effortlessly. This is easy. It's so easy.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Right, let's go into the portal, head towards the portal into the underworld, or wherever that is. I can't go up there. Damn it.
I fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all
I
of
didn't
the
know it's a guy
little
up there in
flaws
the
that make
middle.
them painfully human.
What does this box say?
I think about this game a lot these days. This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Ave Maria. We're at a gathering of professionals. First you'll start out at leaning against this wall. But stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being, do it again. For some reason it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Yada yada yada. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones will bounce when you touch them. Happy. Try stepping back from the stage. Well, okay. Lamppost. Prison thing. Oh dear.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes...
Okay, I'm gonna just change... Oops. La ba 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 ba. Why isn't that working? Oh. There you go.
Inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Shut up, man cat. Keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. I open my eyes. Research. What is going on?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
God damn it. Oh. Don't press the tilde key, you idiot. Come on, somebody. SS Whisper.
Alright, let me explain how you're supposed to do this.
Yes.
On either side of the room are elevators, which
Yep.
go up to an upper level. You have to go up, walk over to the person who's standing there, and then select dialogue option number 2.
Oh.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
I've got a horrible feeling about the ending of this game. That's obviously leading up to his death. Isn't it? Where am I? Is this the fountain in the Tree of Life? Kitty cat, no. Oh. Trippy. Cat, no, you're in front of it. Come on, man, dingbat. Come on, out the way.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet still he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on. You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
God, this game.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to
Don't
me.
worry about me.
I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so
There was floating colored blocks.
It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. It never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Oh dear.
But it didn't stop.
Dear.
After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Okay, Kat, what now? So you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation when you like. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself what? I missed that. Huh. That's pretty rad.
And of course, it's the machine.
going on. My friends, not followers. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We'll find a way to live without it. We don't need it. It's games. Do these choices actually mean anything? I have no idea. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Oh dear. Oh, back here again. Huh.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Oh.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
The machine. The machine. Oh, I missed that. I was looking away.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work,
By the way, I can't
There's
turn
nothing that
around or
feels
look. I
better.
can only shoot
And
straight
I
forward.
got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
All right, Doge.
So let's take a look.
This game is super weird. It's made by the same people as the Stanley Parable people. I think I'm closing to near the end. I know it's only a short game.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it.
Oh.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes
I've seen
beyond
this.
not being meant to be played.
I only
It actually
discovered it
seems to
yesterday.
despise the player for trying to play it at all.
Well, heard of it.
But
It was
I
made
do
by the
want to
same
show you
people
the
as the
rest of the
Stanley
levels, so
Parable people.
when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
But yeah, it's weird.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put
can't
the code
press
on
the
the
switch
ground
anyway.
here, though, so that we can move on.
What? What did he say? Who was talking? Oh. Shit. It's 151. 617. Ah! Thank God.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game?
Kitty cat.
I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like
Come here.
everything needs to have a solution. But I feel
Oh,
it
rub yourself
somehow.
on the camera, you
I
dingbat.
feel like I failed,
Come here.
and I don't understand
Oh,
why.
now knock over the light, you dingbat. Come here. Say hello to Doge. Where's it going? I am absolutely lost.
I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself,
Yeah, my kitty cat.
I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is.
Oh,
It wasn't
Lydia
the
knocked
guy I
at
knew. It
the
wasn't my
camera.
friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him.
Come on, cat. You
I
can't be
asked
in
him
front
please
there.
to tell me what the 3 dots mean, and he wouldn't.
All right. Just sit there. The ending. But I'm guessing because, well, this dude died who made the games. It's gonna end with a dude's death or something. I have no idea.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me.
Kitty cat, come on, you can't
But he
keep
stopped
walking backwards
and
and
left.
forwards in front of the
And
bloody
it felt
thing,
somehow
man.
like I had failed. Where did I screw up?
I really know nothing about this game. I've never seen one single frame of it as a like going into it. So
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
oh dear. Oh dearie dear. Were we too pushy?
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played
dear.
them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Oh dear. Stop adding lampposts to them. I thought that was what he did.
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. less than nothing. What does that mean?
Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact you could think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than me. You're right, it doesn't. Ah, yeah, dude. For some reason, this game won't allow me shortcuts to work. Well, there you go. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything. It's that bloody door game thing again.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in.
Oh, the wall coming down.
Is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful
It's just
thing,
me, the
and I'm
walls
doing it again
coming in.
right now. Like I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again. Like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me.
Oh,
can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please. Start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
The dude is the guy died. Epilogue. There's no hands on the clock face.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
It doesn't say anything, does it? Eerie.
Solution.
Oh dear. Am I close to the end of this, Doge, you know? I thought it was about an hour and a half long, like... It's about an hour and a half now.
Yes, if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was
very close.
depressed.
Alright, cheers.
Maybe he just likes making prisons.
It's been kind of a trip, like, I have to say.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
What on earth is this place?
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than
It's meant to
validation,
make us feel claustrophobic.
what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now?
You tell me, bud.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for.
Don't leave me.
So I'm just gonna... Okay.
I feel like I want to go through all the hoops. Jumping through hoops. Metaphor. Was that a good idea or a bad idea? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Huh? Kitty cat. Come on, get to the end. There's definitely no run button in this, is there? How is me? I'm alright. Oh, I remember this from the start. I had to give myself... I felt that's exactly what it says at the very start. I was like, I have to give myself for somebody else? I don't know. Is it supposed to be metaphorical? It's that whole floating thing from the start again. Because I'm dead. nice little skyline. What the shit?
Turn back. Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave.
What?
Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles.
What on earth?
And miles and miles. And you're so tired. But I know that you're strong.
What on earth was that about?
Turn back. Turn back.
Was that it? Oh my days. I feel like I've just wasted an hour and a half. Oh. I really wanted to play Firewatch as well. My days. Oh, I think I need to take a break. I feel worn out. I've got a couple of games I kind of want to play. But first I think I need to get a drink of water. Well, let's definitely quit you. And bring you back. Firewatch was on sale, yeah, for I think it was £2, down from 15 quid. Yeah, I've seen bits of Firewatch and I really wanted to play it. I think I played bits of it before. But I quite liked it. I don't, well, if it's 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's something like that. I remember it was dirt cheap when I seen it in the sale. But if it's 2.5 hours, I'll definitely not be doing it all tonight, that's for sure. I might as well start it. I'll tell you what, I'll do you a favour. If you're ever going to hang around for Firewatch, I'll not bother putting a BRB thing up. I'm just going to quickly go and grab a glass of water. Thank you for the no BRB song. Yeah, no worries, dude. I probably shouldn't use it so often anyway, because that'll confuse people. 5:15. Got Ori and the Blind Forest. I'm guessing that's what that's supposed to say. Together with Just Cause 3 and some more. I haven't had a really good look yet, but I've seen a few good things that are dirt cheap. I tell you what, I really did want to play it today until I realised they were all the games well, for the PlayStation, well, PlayStation exclusive, it's anything by David Cage, like the Hard Rain. I really wanted to play that. I seen the start of it and it looks so good. I was like, right, I'm going to turn this off and see if I can get it. And I don't have a PlayStation. Any of the PlayStations for that matter. But I was quite gutted because the game looked really good. But, okay. Let's first of all go into studio mode. Which one's my output screen? I have no idea. Blah, 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 blah. Black ice. Kitty cat, you can't be walking in front of you. How Let's get rid of window capture. And add game capture. Hey, do. All right, transition. Yeah, it's just I'm trying to get used to using the studio mode thing instead of bloody fanning on with it. Trying to do things with the scene actually open. I do need to change another scene as well. Blah 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 blah. There we go. Alright. New game. I tested this morning so I knew it worked. Let's get out studio mode. I can't really... I have seen bits of this but I can't remember really much about it. Yeah, I don't know, I'm really into narrative games. That's kind of why I was into the FMV games for such a long time. I was trying to find as many of them as I possibly could. Actually, I played... well, I didn't play it. But I downloaded the Star Trek one from the 90s FMV game. Let's do a speed run. Oh, I can't remember that much about this anyway. So I couldn't do a speed run. She's about your age, late 20s, laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You, Henry, are out drinking with your pals. You approach her. You are drunk. You're pretty. So let's go for the nicer one. What's your major? You slay the word major and it smells like Coors. You give an awkward smile. Evolutionary biology, she says. And I'm a professor. Cool, you reply. What's yours, she asks. She sniffs the air. Toxicology? She's got a sense of humour. Was that a burn, you ask? She says, definitely. Oh, definitely. But definitely, same thing. Worried you hurt your feelings, she asks you if you want to split a cheeseburger. 1 week later, you are Julia's boyfriend. It's touching. Ping. but when I tested this, I got just after the car, so You date for over a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's great. You move in, you share an apartment near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is good. Julia wants to get a dog. I'm a cat person though, I don't want a dog. There's a scruffy, undersized beagle. Julia's in love. She wants to bring it to her, with her to class. Oh god, I thought it was dogs outside. It's bloody the game, isn't it? There's also an intimidating but gentle-eyed German shepherd. Nothing bad could happen to Julia while walking this dog. It's badass. Oh wait, kitty cat, you're right in front of the screen. I can't see, man. You pick the beagle and she names him Bucket. I want to go for the beagle. Bucket's a good dog name. And a week later, you've totally forgotten about the other one. Julia loves him. You love him too. 1979. You talk out on the deck. It's summer, 9:30 PM, and the heat still radiates off the high desert. What do you think about kids? She asks. Kids? They're not very smart or good at much. I'm saying if you and I have some, a couple of little idiots. Okay. That would be pretty good. One day, why rush? She looks away, out towards the mountains. We have plenty of time, right? Speak for yourself, mister. Don't worry, you're sure. You tell her she has the body of an undergrad. My ovaries didn't get that memo. She says, laughing it off. One day, okay. Okay, one day, she says. 6 months later, you get engaged, lying in bed on a Sunday morning. Is there any way I can ditch that cursor? Do I need it to be there? I probably do, don't I? That's just a bit annoying. Don't forget to check in. No fireworks. Okay. Is that a thing? No. Am I heading the right way? Is there a run button? Does nobody ever make a run button for these games anymore? $19.80. It's a Thursday night and Julia's 4 hours late. She doesn't call. You're worried and you're getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. You shouldn't run this game. Running this game. Ah. Yeah, man. It was you that mentioned speed running. But I do find it a little bit tedious if I'm having to spend ages walking. She's not quite drunk, but she's clearly been having a fun time. You fight when she gets between the sheets. You get mad. You ignore her. I'm gonna ignore her. You don't touch her all night. The next day, you feel guilty for being so angry and ask her about her evening. She says it was great. You hold on to a tiny pill of resentment. You make some coffee and go to work. 1981. Julia still likes to draw. She draws plans from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. You pose and flex like He-Man. Oh, drop my mouse pad now. You frolic like Victoria's Secret model. Let's do that one. Let's pick pick that up. Me palm rest. Very nice. Clip. Are you talking about? What's that? It's because this pop grill's a bit rubbish. If you're talking about my mic, that is. I've also got dipping on, so it dips the audio anyway. I've got ducking on the actual desktop audio, so it will be ducking the game audio as I talk. Two Forks, Lookout Tower. Spacebar. Yeah, it looks a little bit hot. 1982. During the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking bucket at night. It's a festival in town. It brings in folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. Bucket gets kicked. Fuck, dog, Julia yells. She gets flustered and has trouble speaking when she is stressed. You confront the attacker. I can't talk tonight. You scaring me away. You scaring me away. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I don't want to beat nobody's face in. You reach into your pocket like you've got a gun and threaten to kill him. You manage to scare all three of you. He runs away. Kitty cat. Okay, just stay there, cat. Julia has to take a different path from that day forward. You say okay. You don't want to go that way either. From then on you walk by the river. Yeah, it's nice. The whole game's nice, the beautiful artwork and the whole thing, the story, blah blah blah. 1984, which is the year I was born, by the way. Plans to have kids get waylaid by work. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale is in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job. Associate department chair. She wants to move. You absolutely do not. Convince her to go. Agree if she commutes back and forth. Yeah, the music's like on time with the bloody how the story's progressing as well. You'll ask her if she'll commute back and forth. You don't want to move to Connecticut. She says that'll be hard, but you'll do it if you won't move. You tell her not to pass it up if it's what she wants. She agrees. She flies back to Boulder 3 times each semester. 1985. Julia is sent home from Yale on paid leave after having an episode, in inverted commas. She lost it on a colleague for borrowing books that were important to her research. She didn't remember she had happily loaned him just 2 days prior. She was found crying in the stairwell. You say that maybe you guys should talk to someone about it. You make macaroni and drink wine and try to forget about it. Let's not ignore the problem. After seeing multiple doctors and having many tests, they are worried that Julia might be suffering from early onset dementia. She is 41. Jesus. You both decide to keep it a secret for now. I really can't remember this story as much. I don't know, this should die or something. Pick up a journal. Oh, these are our pictures, aren't they? I think that's what we look like as well. Bucket is getting older. Julia comments that it's kind of nice because he gets in less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to the university. 1987. Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in class. Her research is in shambles. She drives a car to the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by the police. She is devastated. She's sent home on permanent medical leave. Some days you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children kitty cat. Get out of the way. Little idiots. Other days you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love. After 5 minutes, she goes... 5 minutes? Come on, kitty. Yeah. You're just being a pest now. Come on. You can't stand on that one. She pulls you into bed, and after 5 minutes, she goes into a panic believing her dad is at the door. You tell her family. They are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a while, your friends come by with little things to brighten up her day. She gets worse. 1988. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between the 2 weekly visits from Daniel, the nurse. He suggests that Julia could live somewhere else, somewhere there's 24-hour care at home. It sits with you for a couple of months. You decide to move her into a full-time care facility. Oh, kitty cat, man, no! You are determined to take care of her by yourself. This is present day, isn't it? And then we're getting little flashbacks of what's bringing us up to speed to why he's now going to be like a Firewatch person. Yeah. Oh, you mean it does have impacts later? The actual choices? I didn't know that. I'm just doing what I think should be what I would do, really. It isn't possibly hard. The worst is when you get mad at her. Like when she tries to cook her own food. You can't do anything without her and she can't do anything without you. When she goes to sleep, you stay up for a few hours, drinking on the deck, watching baseball in the summer, college baseball in the winter, drinking then too. You start going out after you put her to bed. The first time you do it, you worry about her getting up and walking around while they're gone. Kitty cat, no, 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 no. Stop it. You put a chair in front of the bedroom door. No, I can't do that. You trust that... Well, I've got a feeling if I don't put a chair in front of the door, she will get out and hurt herself. But I can't lock her in, that's awful. You go to the same bar at the boring end of Pearl Street. It's nice there. Over time, you tell Sheila, the bartender, everything. It's a huge weight off. You're home and in bed by 1, a couple of nights a week. You look forward to those nights. Kitty cat, no! You can't be on top, man. 1989. The one night... No, man. Look. Come on. One night you stopped at you are stopped at a DUI checkpoint. Alright. You blew a .10 and are taken to jail for the night. You consider trying to hide it, but you tell your sister-in-law, Susan. 1 second, I'm gonna close my curtains because it's dark now. And when will Kitty can come? One day, maybe. And I want to update this webcam because I'm thinking about getting a new one. I might just have a permanent cam in the bottom corner of my cat, just to please you. Right, testing 1, 2, 3. My headphones have been funny. Julia's parents take... Oh, my... Come on. Where am I? Julia's parents take... Then explain from Australia. They can't believe the state in your house is... the state your house is in. Then they tell you that Julia's coming to live with them. You don't argue. You say you'll come and visit soon. A few weeks go by. Summer is coming and you'll see an ad in the paper for a job. You take it. I need to get the other pop grill for this because I can hear the popping is terrible. And then I bought this because it's easier, and then just the bloody big round thing, moving that all the time. Enter the lookout tower. Oh. I love the skies. Look, the skies are pretty beautiful. And the general colour of this, the colour of the blue tone's really nice. And blue and green. Stop bloody glitching. You just punch it.
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
Hello. Is this the radio? Reply. How do I do that? Pinecone. Hold left shift to activate radio. Hello.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
So, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
I remember she's over there, isn't she,
Idea.
or something?
Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
What was it? Left ship? You've killed 3 ex-husbands. You're rebelling against Mom. Nobody back home can stand you. Let's go for that one.
Okay, you've killed 3 husbands. You're a black widow and you're just out here until the heat dies down and then you'll kill again.
Ooh, very good. Bravo, Henry.
Okay, I sleep now?
Not quite. Now you.
Okay, good night, bye.
Let's see. I don't know anything about you. I say you got fired from your job and have finally decided to write your novel. That's the sort of bullshit reason you'll find a man out in the woods.
Good night.
Welcome to the job.
Firewatch. Titles. Day 1. I might see if I can drop down the effects on it. 'Cause I don't know if it's me being stuttery.
Good morning, Henry. Well, I guess good afternoon. You probably slept
It's like
like
the
a
motion
rock
blur there
today.
is really...
There's
I don't
still
like
a
it.
few hours of daylight to get some work in. I can see you at your desk, so call me when you're ready.
Hey, sorry, guess I slept in.
You got a relaxing,
This might be easier with a pad.
14 hours of sleep? Whew.
Yeah, Jesus, I guess it's what, 6?
6:45.
Whoops.
Don't worry.
I did it really affects my eyes. It looks weird. I mean, it's nice if you're not sitting in front of about a foot away from a 50-inch TV, which like I am, just when I'm running through, when I'm running the game through. It's a little bit much on your eyes. Graphics. Toggle head bob. Motion blur, that's what I'm looking at.
Worry about it. That hike puts
That's
everyone
sort
out of
of better.
commission for a day or two. But now that you're up, let me quickly get you acquainted with the job. There's a thing in the middle of your room with a round map on it. Do you see it?
That's a lot better. Yes, I do see it.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
This is the Osborne Firefinder, invented in 1914 by W.B.
Osborne?
You use this to spot, you guessed it, What the fuck?
What is it?
Nothing. You use this to... Oh, fuck me!
Good God, language, lady.
Yeah.
West-facing window. Are you seeing what I'm
Which way
seeing?
is west?
Are those fucking fireworks?
Did I see it over there a second ago? Oh. N to use the compass.
I need you to confirm. Do you see them?
Yes, I do. Oh, zoom in as well. Well, I've seen it
Seriously,
anyway.
Are you seeing this?
Shut your face. I've seen it, okay?
Whoa, that's not legal, right?
No. You need to get down there right now and stop them. Fire danger is through the fucking roof.
Is that really my job?
Your job is whatever I say it is. Look, the closest ranger is like 2 days away. Go down there and set him straight.
Well, okay. Like, kick the shit out of him? Can I write them a ticket?
Do I write him a ticket?
Easy there, Dirty Harry.
Well,
Get going. You'll probably need a rope to get down the shale between you and the lake, if I remember right. There should be one in the supply box on the way. The code is 1234. It's actually that for all of them.
But which way am I going? West is where I want to be going, isn't it? Do I just walk there? Nothing left on the walkie that I can see. Is there a map? There is a map. Where the hell am I going? Zoom in. How do I zoom in? Oh, it's because I'm left-handed, man. The buttons are bloody reversed. Doesn't tell us where I need to go. Yeah, well, I think I don't even know what the graphics are set on this on mine. I might turn them down. Everything's set to high except motion blur, which is off. Well, I'm in 720 because I'm streaming in 720. Doge, you remember how to update my stream thing so it says I'm now playing Firewatch? Drop the map. I don't think that updated anything, did it? Firewatch. Firewatch. Yeah, bloody Nightbot man here. I've never got Nightbot to work reliably. I think that's updated now, I'm not sure. Open. Huzzah! Oh god. Candy. Is it cherry and almond? That would be okay if I had a numpad. I've got 10 keyless keyboard, so I don't have a numpad. Unless I can use the numbers along the top, then that would have been easier. Oops. Can I take it? Eat. Deals rope. Okay. Is that it? Catman, what are you doing now? You're shaking the whole bloody desk. I don't even know where you are. Oh no! Ah. Alright.
Don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back. Be right back. Oh, don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back to you. And if you were to hang around, you'd not be made a fool. And if you were to stick about, it would be super cool. So don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back. Be right back. Oh, don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back to you. And if you were to hang around, you'd not be made a fool. And if you were to stick about, it would be super cool. So don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back. Be right back. Oh, don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back to you. And if you were to hang around, you'd not be made a fool. And if you were to stick about, it would be super cool. So don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back. Be right back. Oh, don't you worry, we will be right back. Be right back to you. And if you were to hang around, you'd not be made a fool.
Hello, hello, hello. Clara climbed on top of the bloody me second monitor and knocked it clean straight off the back of my desk. And then she ran away whinging because there was a whole bit of a massive clutter. It's still working, thank God. In fact, 2 seconds. Oh, I want to see what she's doing. Hi. Alright, so where was I? See, that's why she can't be on the desk. Pinecone. What am I supposed to do with these pine cones? I'm heading south there. It's this way I want to go. Am I heading back the same way? I have no idea. My monitor fell. We climbed on the back of it and pulled it straight off the back of my desk. I don't know which way I've got to go here. I've got myself lost. And all the bloody commotion with Clara. I can't remember what she said. We are the buy. Let's just keep going this way. Medicine wheel. Nah, nothing broke. It just went straight off the back of my desk with a massive clutter, and then she ran away bloody crying. Well, I did have to pull it back up from the back of my desk. But I'm glad nothing broke. This is a deed end. Sue your cat. How do I get up there? Yeah, she didn't seem to like it. And then I could keep warning her not to go up there. I have no idea if I'm going the right way. I'm absolutely lost. I've got a feeling I've got to use that rope to get up this cliff face. Why does it keep saying medicine wheel? Where's me? Do I have inventory or something? Oh, okay.
Wow, there's an old, I think it's called a medicine wheel out here.
Yeah, it was made by Crow American Indians hundreds of years ago. There are lots of small ones. Have you ever been to Medicine Wheel Monument over in the Bighorns?
I sure haven't.
No, no, neither
It's
have
a
I.
3-hour detour on the way home in August.
Neat. I'll keep it in mind.
Okay, but so that's where I am. Where am I supposed to be going? Is it the lake trail? I should be heading west, shouldn't I? Wow, we can look at the map while you're walking. That's bizarre. Yeah, I know where are the fireworks. I know they were in a westerly direction, but I've got myself turned around so much now. I'm like, well, there's a cliff face in. Let's get rid of the map. Follow the line. What line? What line? I mean, that line, is that not where I've been? The Red Lake Trail. Which I'm guessing is it's this way, but I've just been in here thinking, was it not a dead end? I'm heading the wrong way, man, aren't I? Oh, more like the thoughts now. It's exactly the opposite way I should be going. I'm sure, I thought I came this way. I did come this way, didn't I? Grab the compass. That's west. Which way is it to see on the map? That's west. I should be heading north. If I was going to hit that lake thing.
I take it you fell prey to the Forest Service's big recruiting effort when it comes to, you know,
That
how
was
the
a
hell you
hassle.
ended up out here.
I saw the job in the paper and figured, you know, what the heck.
What the heck? I've got no ties and no life. Better go spend what's left of it in utter loneliness.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Fireworks,
thanks to last
ah.
summer, the bump in Forest Service budget actually allowed for us to advertise for the job. Glad it worked.
Rope. Ah, okay. I knew how to use the rope. Well, obviously I picked up the rope earlier, but I knew how to use it on a cliff face somewhere. Do I want a sprint key?
No, no, no!
Didn't you want a sprint key? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, if they have one. Do they have one? I mean, I could check the controls.
Hey,
What the hell's wrong with you?
my rope snapped coming down the shale slide.
You didn't break anything, did you?
No, I think I'll make it.
Oh, the toggle sprint. Oh, that's great. Huzzah! Okay, so where am I going now? Have I been knocked out for a while? I've got a feeling it should be that way.
It is a hell of a nice camping spot down here by the lake.
I haven't been down there in years, but yeah, Jonesy Lake area.
This looks like the place.
Oh shit, ferret are Irish.
Save for later. Okay. Come on, stomach out better than that. Was that it? I'm guessing that's out now. Fireworks. Where have they let they went? They went there naked. I can't take them, can I? That would have been funny. Examine. Dear me. Nope, we can't get through that way. Found them.
Hey, you fucking kids!
Hey, you fucking fatso! Leave us alone!
I know you guys are setting up bottle rockets out here, okay?
How? Because you're hiding in the bushes spying on us?
Give him a break, Lily. He probably hasn't seen boobs in 20 years.
He's probably still a virgin.
Why do guys think it's all right to just stare at girls?
Oh, zoom in. That's weird.
Took all of your stuff. The fireworks, the whiskey, you name it.
What? You dick!
Also, setting off fireworks out here isn't just stupid, it's illegal.
Yeah, so is stealing, asshole.
That's so fucking bogus.
You're gonna pay for that.
Can we just get out of here?
Ew, totally.
You're gross.
You're just some sad man out in the woods.
Well, they're gone.
Hey, that go okay?
The way he slams stuff down is hilarious. The way he punches the light switch to turn it on as well.
Hey,
Oh, there you are.
it went fine. Hopefully there won't be any more
Two
trouble.
forks.
Good. Thanks for going down there.
Oh, run. Now to find my way back. Oh. Surprisingly, I can run over these rocks. Ooh. It's that way I've got to go, isn't it?
So, I have a bit of a confession to make.
What is it?
Look, I was drunk last night when I welcomed you to the job.
Yeah, well, you're not the first boss to be guilty of that.
I know, I know I can get a little pushy.
Yeah, it's really good.
Spot about why you're out here and stuff.
It's I'm getting lost with the map and things, but I'm sure it'll become second nature in the end. Am I heading the right way? Oh dear, that isn't a good sound.
Hey, I heard some thunder.
Yeah, I've got eyes on a storm out to the north.
Well, that's bad, right? Because of the...
Yeah.
It just means we'll be busy. Hurry home and try not to get hit by lightning.
It's awkward though,
I
with the
got hit
shift
by
button.
lightning when I was 9 years old, so I'm safe. It's
To
not gonna
talk.
strike twice and all that.
Well, there was an old lookout named Roy Sullivan who got hit by lightning 7 times.
Being left-handed.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, well, if it makes you feel any better, it wasn't what killed him.
What killed him?
Suicide. Would you believe?
Huzzah! They're all 1, 2, 3, 4, and I used the top numbers here and they did work, so that's dab handy. Is it dead?
Ah!
Okay. I can cut through here, can't I?
What's in this cave down here?
In Thunder Canyon?
Thunder Canyon?
Hey, I didn't name it. But in the cave, I don't know, rocks? NFS tells people not to go too far in there. It's pretty dangerous.
So
I say, fuck it.
Copy
You're
the
a pro,
map.
man, you can go where you want.
great. Used to go caving with someone back in Colorado. She loved it. Might be great to explore it sometime this summer.
Well, that could be fun. Obviously, be very careful.
It doesn't seem that dangerous. Whoa, whoa! Ah, no!
Henry!
Seriously, it's completely fine in here.
God damn it.
Lost. Might have I just came to a dead end. I have, haven't I? I'm sure that's either way down into the cave or can't be it shouldn't be a way out. Make a 180 on top on there. What?
Hello? It looks like the path leads through the cave.
Back in the cave, huh? Man, I don't need to lose another lookout in there.
Another lookout?
They go in, they never come out.
Oh god, I can't even see the map. Make a 180 on top of the mountain. Well, how do I get to the top of the mountain though? That's the thing, I couldn't get up. Are you talking through the cave? I'm sure I've got to go through the cave. Someone just flashed a flashlight in your face. What? Turn my flashlight off. Now let's... I'm sure this has got to be the route, isn't it? Ah, I just didn't see it, man. My bad. I knew this had to be the way. Come on, let's get back before... You got me wondering about a flashlight now. Copy the map from the boxes. Oh, am I supposed to be doing that? Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna play this game for much longer. Like, considering I've been streaming for 2.5 hours now, and I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna get back to the tower and then save. Yeah, dude, get yourself away, man. I'm literally just gonna get back to the tower and then call it a night myself. Yeah, I'll catch you another time, man. Trail closed sign. Oh god, don't fall. Well, there's my tower anyway. Run. Generator. Uh-oh. Okay, so drop it. Drop it. God damn it. I don't like the music kicking in. Broken glass. There's nobody there.
Someone broke in.
Hey, what?
They wrecked the place. Threw my typewriter out the window. Motherfucker.
Holy shit. I'll let the Forest Service know what happened.
It's gotta be those pesky kids, in it. Alright then, I'm gonna call it a night.
Okay, I put in a call.
Oh dear. We've got to apply to that, haven't it?
Well, what can they do about it? Will they catch whoever did it?
This is the Forest Service, Henry. They're not exactly Hawaii Five-0. Do you have any idea who would have done this?
The girls at the lake would be my guess.
The girls at the lake. Ugh, fuck them.
Well, I'll have the Rangers keep an eye out for a couple of young women and question any they find. I can't believe someone would do this. I worry about bears and fires, and that's about it. And now I've got to worry about some, violent campers? Okay, in the morning I'm gonna call my friend Patty, who works the desk down in Cody. They keep a list of everyone who's officially been in and out of the trailhead since, I don't know, forever, and see if we can get a list of names. We won't get much, but at least if anything else happens, we can refer to it and see if anything comes up.
Thanks.
I need you to feel safe out here.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, you can protect yourself, huh?
I just don't worry about it.
Perfect. Keep that attitude up and you'll have an excellent summer.
Okay. Alright, so, well, that's day one. It's perfect time to leave it there, isn't it? I guess I've got to wait till it loads. Alright.
Wake up.
Can I save and get out of this before anything happens?
Hey, wake up.
Come on, I want to.
I'm awake. What's your problem?
Our problem.
Sorry.
Alright, we'll leave it there. It's been a long ass stream, but yeah. So, good boo for now.
Hey now,